Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video's topic is going to be on the power of prayer. Even if you're not a believer, you still can use the power of prayer to help you. I wrote a little script here. I'm going to try to follow it. I'm just basically going to read it. So here we go. It says, what if I told you that prayer isn't just for religious? That even if you don't believe in God, prayer has power. Which is true. If you're not a believer, it still has power to help you. Prayer is more than just religious ritual. It's not just something you just sit there and go through and not think about anything. Just, okay, time's up, time to go. No. It's a human practice, a moment of stillness, a way to speak your truth out loud or in silence, and then let it go. People for centuries have prayed in many different ways. Some to God, some to the universe, some to a quiet place within themselves. And as science has caught up to this, it does show that prayer, just like meditation, it helps to calm anxiety, reduce stress, and help us find clarity when there's nothing but chaos around you or in your mind or both. Think of it this way. When you're overwhelmed, lost, tired, and trying to control everything, which is impossible because you can't control everything. Prayer is a way of surrendering. It's not a weakness, but it's a way to release the weight that you were never meant to carry. Praying. I'm trying to fix my phone. It's falling off this thing. To sit there and to pray, especially in the morning. You first get up, like I said, even if you're not a believer, just say, thank you. I'm alive. Thanks for another day. Let's go. Another day. Another chance to do things right. And when you're praying, meditating, there's no perfect way of doing it. You just do it. There's no perfect words. You just talk out loud or in silence, depending upon where you are and what you're doing. That's what I do in the morning. I get up. In my case, I'm a believer. So in my case, I do refer to God when I pray. I get up, I say, thank you, God, for opening my eyes. Thank you for another day. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Something along those lines. And then I get up and I just start to do my day. And I continue to talk to him as I'm doing stuff. I talk to him all day long. And like I said before, you don't need perfect words. There is no such thing as perfection, especially with humans. Humans are not perfect. We're all sinners. We're all broken. We all have flaws. Okay? You don't need, for those who are believers, you don't need to go into a church to pray. You don't need a special rituals. You don't need any of that. You just need to talk, speak. You need to speak from your heart. You need to speak the truth. Because it comes down to it, you need to be honest with yourself. Like I said, whether or not you're a believer doesn't make a difference. You need to be honest with yourself. Because if you lie to yourself, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay in that chaos forever. You just talk to yourself and you just say, okay, this is my issue. I have anxiety issues. I can't control my thoughts. There's too much junk in my head. You know, how am I going to get rid of this stuff? And as you start talking, praying, it helps for you to figure things out. You know, some people, like if they're a believer like me, you pray to God. If you're not, you just talk to the clouds, talk to the sky. You know, you can whisper your prayer, help me, or, you know, whatever works for you to help to release that stress, that chaos that you're not meant to have inside of you. You're meant to have peace. You're meant to have hopefulness inside of you so you can move forward in your journey. You know, this video, like I said, it's for anybody who is, whether you're a believer or not. If you're a believer, you speak with God. You talk to God, say, help me, God. You know, you just say, thank you, God. You know, and if you're not, you don't use the word God. You just believe in yourself. Believe in a positive way that you can get out of that chaos. And like I said in the beginning, it's just like meditating. You put yourself into a quiet, peaceful state of mind, you know, attitude of gratitude kind of a thing, and it will help you to calm your mind and be able to think straight and to be able to move forward. You know, you need to speak what is real. Say what hurts. I'm in pain, whether it's physical pain, mental, emotional, spiritual pain. Some people it's all three, some people it's two, you know, everyone's different. Ask for strength, you know. Ask for strength, ask for forgiveness, you know, always forgive yourself. Like I said before, you must be honest with yourself. Don't beat yourself up over things you can't control. You make mistakes in life, we're human beings. Everybody makes mistakes. You just say to yourself, I'm sorry. If you can fix it, you fix it. If it's something from the past, say I'm sorry for that, but I cannot change the past. You have to live now, and you have to move forward. Bottom line is this. Prayer, whatever you want to call it, if you're a believer or if you're not a believer, will help to you to release the stress that is in you. Just sit in a quiet spot for a few minutes. It could be 2 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. It depends upon the person. You know, you sit there and just say, thank you for another day. Doesn't mean you're praying to God if you're not a believer. You're just talking to yourself and getting yourself in the right mindset to get rid of that chaos, get rid of all that garbage that may be going on in your head, you know, and fix yourself so you can manage that day in a positive way and move forward. So, like I said, either way, it'll help you to focus and to move forward into what you want to do in life. Okay? Hopefully, this makes sense to people. You know, it's just like positive talk. You know, positive talk to yourself is a lot better than negative talk to yourself. And that's basically what you're doing. Okay? So hopefully in this video, it makes sense to people. Hopefully you listen to the whole video. So you get some little nugget of helpfulness out of there. And I will see you in the next video.